Welcome back, dear friends. Many of you often ask me, how can I tell if she's just waiting for me to make the first move, or if she's simply not interested at all? And I get it. Women don't always communicate clearly, and they rarely send unmistakable signals. That makes it understandably hard for men to figure out what's really going on, what she actually wants, and whether there's something more than meets the eye. There are various reasons why women might not take the first step themselves. Some are afraid of rejection and don't want to expose themselves to that kind of vulnerability. Others believe the man should take the lead from the beginning. Personally, I think that here in 2025, in an age of emancipation and female empowerment, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a woman taking the initiative once in a while. I understand, though, that making the first move takes courage, and nobody wants to feel ridiculous or come across as too pushy. And I also understand that many men, especially those past 35, reach a point where they think, I'm tired of having to interpret everything. Either she sends clear signals or too bad. That's valid, but at the same time, I often hear things like, I would have done something, but I just wasn't sure. And it's precisely in this space of uncertainty that misunderstandings begin. I'm fully aware this isn't only about what women want or how women feel, it's just as relevant for men. But because so many of you keep asking me this specific question, I want to take a moment to explain, from my perspective, the subtle behaviors women show, either consciously or unconsciously, that strongly suggest she's waiting for you to make the first move. And by the way, the most powerful sign of all comes at the very end. Let's start with something that might sound very ordinary. She's reliably present. What does that mean? She consistently tries to maintain contact with you. She doesn't overwhelm you. She gives you space, but she doesn't disappear either. She doesn't make the first move in the sense of asking, do you want to meet up sometime? Or, should we go for coffee? But she also doesn't want to come across as cold or uninterested. Often it goes like this. We women want to send you subtle signs, little nudges that say, I'm interested, hoping that you'll then take that hint and make a move. I say this from personal experience, back when I was single, and also from countless conversations with women I know, my friends, and others in my social circle. We all tend to do the same thing. We give small clues to show that we're open to more, and we wait to see if the man will notice and respond. Sure, you can call that cowardly, or a one-sided expectation. But the truth is, it often works that way. Especially women with a bit more life experience tend to think, if he's interested, he'll reach out. He'll take the next step. And I think that, too. So she takes a step back, shows subtle interest, remains emotionally available and close by. Understandably, many men interpret this as mixed signals. Is this actual interest or just politeness? It's not always clear, and of course it's possible to misread the situation. But if she keeps showing up, if she texts now and then without any real reason, if she randomly pops in to say hi, those can be signs she's waiting for your move. Another subtle sign is when she teases or playfully provokes you. Maybe it's a cheeky comment, a light jab, a teasing remark, or a bit of playful banter that pushes your buttons just a little, but all without any ill intent. What's behind that? She wants your attention. And many men overlook this completely. She wants you to notice her, to be engaged, to react. But without outright saying, I like you. She's also observing how you react. Flirting doesn't always have to be overt. Teasing is a low-pressure way to show interest. So if she keeps poking you in a playful way, it's often her quiet way of saying, I like you. You can go ahead and make the first move. If she asks personal questions, that's another clue. She wants to know more about you. Maybe she's curious about when your last relationship was, what it was like, what you need to feel comfortable, what your job is, what your goals are. For men, this might just feel like friendly conversation. Nothing more. And sure, sometimes it is. But genuine curiosity, real interest in your life, and deeper questions. That's not something we extend to just anyone. When someone wants to know who you are beyond the surface, it means they're invested on a different level. She doesn't do this with everyone. If you notice that she goes deeper than small talk, that she listens attentively and asks follow-up questions, she might be opening a door. Another subtle sign: she stays longer than necessary. The date might technically be over, but she lingers. The coffee meeting could end, but she orders another drink. She might say during a phone call, "I should have gone a while ago, but go on, tell me more." Giving someone your time is one of the most honest signals of interest we have, especially in a phase of life where we're all busy and time is precious. Most people don't spend an extra hour with someone they don't care about. Life's too short for that. So if she stays, it's because she wants to be with you. She likes you. And very often, she's waiting for you to realize this, to seize that moment. Maybe she casually mentions that she's single. As a man, if you find her attractive, that's something you'll want to listen for. She's not making a big emotional confession or telling some dramatic story. It's just a small comment like, "I'm not in a relationship right now," or "My ex and I have been done for a while." That's setting context. She didn't have to tell you that. There's no obligation to inform you of her relationship status unless she wants to make it clear that the path is open. That's a sign. She's saying, "There's space for something, if you're ready to step in." She reacts positively to your small advances. Maybe it's an honest compliment. Maybe it's a flirtatious smile. Maybe it's a light touch on the arm. She doesn't block it. She doesn't recoil. Of course, these things can be misread, but more often than not, when she leans in instead of pulling back, it's a quiet yes. And likewise, she initiates small physical moments herself. For instance, maybe she stands a little closer to you in conversation than is strictly necessary. Maybe she touches your arm when emphasizing a point, or she leans in when she talks to you, just enough to create a bit of intimacy. Maybe she whispers something in your ear and stays a moment longer than she really needs to. Speaking as a woman, I can tell you, those are usually not coincidences. Many women are very conscious and intentional about physical proximity. They don't offer it randomly. If she seeks your closeness, it's usually not by accident. It's because she feels safe, comfortable, and there's some degree of attraction. And often it means you're welcome here. Some men rationalize these moments away, telling themselves it's just her personality, or it's nothing. And yes, sometimes it is. But other times, it's very much intentional. When a woman feels drawn to someone, she may find herself overcoming the usual physical boundaries, without even realizing she's doing it. She comes closer, touches you lightly. These are subtle but powerful signs. It's not always conscious, and yet it's one of the strongest indicators, because physical closeness isn't something most women take lightly. On the contrary, with experience, we learn very clearly who we want to be near and who we don't. So if a woman, consciously or not, engages in these small physical gestures, it's often a sign of trust and emotional ease. She's not only gauging how you react, she's opening a space where your initiative is welcome. Of course, none of these signs are guarantees. People are different, moods shift, life circumstances matter. But the point is to be attentive to a pattern, to several signs building up, and to respond with sensitivity. Subtle signs are often an attempt to allow closeness without exposing too much. They're a way to say, "I'm open," without shouting it from the rooftops. And if you find this kind of insight helpful, feel free to give it a like or share it with someone who might benefit. Thanks for watching. Take care, and see you soon. And when she makes herself emotionally available without pushing for immediate outcomes, it's often a gentle invitation for connection. She doesn't demand anything outright, but opens a door. You might notice that she's not just showing interest in your stories, but reflects on them, remembers small details you mentioned days ago, and brings them back into the conversation. That's not random. It's deliberate attentiveness, and it reveals care. She's tracking your rhythm. She wants to understand you, not just out of politeness, but because she values your presence. And even though she hasn't taken the first leap, she's creating a space where your leap would be welcomed, not judged, not rejected, not brushed off. She might not say, "I want you to ask me out," but her behavior often does. It's encoded in the way she laughs just a little longer at your jokes, the way her messages come at the times when you're probably alone, when she just happens to be available. She'll test your curiosity subtly. Maybe she'll mention an event she's going to, or an activity she enjoys, just to see if you'll pick up the cue and take the conversation deeper. She might not say, "Join me," but she wants to see if you'll say it instead. And yes, I know, from the outside, this can look like mixed signals or emotional chess, but from the inside, it's often just a desire to feel safe while still taking the risk of connection. What she's doing is sending out beacons, soft, glowing signals that someone tuned in can catch. And when you do, when you take the chance and step forward, she may meet you there with warmth, relief even, because this whole time, she was hoping you'd see what she couldn't say aloud. And these signs, when they appear consistently, they mean something. When she reaches out after days of silence, when she finds excuses to share something she saw that reminded her of you, when she positions herself just a little closer than necessary and lingers, these are not coincidences. They're quiet affirmations of interest. Sometimes she'll drop hints about her emotional availability not by saying, "I'm lonely," or "I want someone," but by talking about her favorite moments of connection, about times she felt seen, or about friends who found love in the most unexpected ways. It's a quiet way of saying she believes in those things too, and maybe she's wondering if it could happen for her with you. Listen carefully to how she frames her stories. Are they invitations to share your own, to join in her emotional world? Does she create a rhythm where it's easy for you to step in? Maybe she uses humor to lower her guard. Maybe she playfully challenges you or debates you on something just to feel the energy between you. Sometimes being argumentative is just a way to stay close, to keep the interaction alive. The point is, she's engaging, not retreating. She's offering tension, which means she's offering presence. And when someone keeps showing up, especially in a world full of distractions and infinite scroll, it's worth paying attention. Effort is one of the sincerest forms of modern affection. And then there are moments she tests the emotional waters. Small moments where she says something vulnerable, maybe about her past, her fears, her insecurities. She's not dumping her heart, but she's giving you a glimpse. That's not just about sharing. It's about seeing how safe you are, whether you'll judge or accept. She's extending a rope across the gap. And if you pull gently, not too fast, not too strong, she may cross. Vulnerability is rarely shouted. It's often whispered. And if you can hear it, she's already invited you into her world. Sometimes the signs are even more embodied than spoken. Watch her posture when you're around. Does she mirror you, lean in, angle her body toward you even in group settings? Body language doesn't lie. If she's always physically open when facing you, arms relaxed, feet pointed your way, eyes tracking yours, she's giving you non-verbal cues that you matter. If she plays with her hair, adjusts her clothes, or checks her reflection subtly while near you, it's not vanity. It's nerves. And nerves usually mean interest. She's not just present. She's self-aware around you. That means something is at stake. You might even notice she uses proximity to create emotional intimacy. Maybe she texts you something a bit deeper late at night, when the world is quiet and hearts feel more open. Or maybe she chooses to share a song, a quote, something that moved her. That's a gesture of emotional sharing, a soft signal saying, "Here's what resonates with me. Does it resonate with you too?" It's not random. It's a bridge. And even if she never says what she wants directly, the offer is often there, waiting to be received. When you compliment her and she lights up instead of deflecting, that's a green light. When you open up and she listens without turning the topic back to herself, that's her building space for you. When she gives you room but still circles back, still checks in, still reappears, even when there's no obligation, she's not just being polite, she's investing, not in words, but in time, energy, attention. And those are currencies of interest far more meaningful than declarations. You'll also see it in how she lets you influence her. Maybe she starts picking up your expressions, trying the food you like, watching the shows you recommend. That's not coincidence. That's attunement. That's a form of bonding, of tuning her frequency to yours. If she starts to echo your rhythm, your interests, your humor, she's not just listening, she's aligning. Not because she wants to mimic, but because she wants to meet. And for many women, that alignment is the quietest, most sincere version of pursuit. And when all these signals converge, when she's available, consistent, open, curious, physically close, emotionally present, subtly vulnerable, she's not just being nice. She's not confused. She's hoping you'll notice. She's saying, "I've opened the door. Will you step through?" She might never say it out loud. She might never admit it, even to herself. But it's there, in the way she lingers, in the way she laughs, in the way she waits for just a little longer at the end of a conversation, hoping something will happen, that you'll make the move. And this, in my view, is the strongest sign of all. When a woman invites proximity and allows you to close the space between you. When she lets you in. Because proximity is power, and power shared is a form of trust. Most women don't share that lightly. We know who we want near us. We know who makes us feel safe. And if you find yourself inside that circle, if she lets you in even a little, that's your cue. That's your moment. Of course, none of this means she's obligated to respond a certain way once you do make the move. She has the right to change her mind. Feelings evolve. But what matters is recognizing the patterns, the invitations, the possibilities. It's not about certainty. It's about awareness. Being tuned in. Being brave enough to respond when someone is trying, in all the quiet ways, to tell you she's ready for something more, as long as you're willing to take the first step. If you'd like me to convert this into a voiceover video script with tone annotations, pacing or timing for editors, just let me know. Or if you'd like a French version next, I can start right away. There's a moment that often goes unnoticed. The pause. That breath she takes after you speak. The hesitation before she responds. Not because she's unsure, but because she's processing, feeling the weight of the interaction. That pause is space. Space she allows to exist because she doesn't want the moment to end too quickly. If she didn't care, there would be no pause. Just a polite response, a quick laugh, a way to move on. But when she lets silence sit there between you, it's an offering. The kind that asks, "Do you feel this too?" And then there's timing. If she consistently reaches out at moments that feel intimate, late at night, early in the morning, just before you go on stage for something big, or right after a difficult day, she's not just being thoughtful. She's connected. She wants to be part of your emotional landscape, even if she doesn't always say it. She places herself in the story of your day, in the rhythm of your routine. And that placement is no accident. It's presence with intention. Sometimes she won't say much at all, but she'll listen. And in today's world, that is a rare and powerful gesture. She won't fill every gap with her own stories, but instead offer you the floor. Because listening is not just about patience, it's about investment. She's not trying to impress you with words, she's letting you take the lead. And in doing that, she's already showing a willingness to follow. To see where you'll take the energy between you. That's a subtle, profound form of trust. You might even find that she shows her interest in unexpected ways, like being playful about your flaws, remembering the little things you say you dislike, and gently poking fun at them. It's not criticism. It's closeness. It's the kind of familiarity that says, I see you, all of you, and I'm still here. That acceptance isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself, but it shows up in how comfortable she allows herself to be around you, in the way she drops formalities, speaks casually, allows herself to be a little silly. That's not just ease, that's intimacy forming. You'll also notice her reactions when you pull away. Maybe you go quiet for a few days. Maybe life gets busy, and suddenly she checks in. Nothing dramatic, just a short message, a reaction to a story, a subtle re-entry. That's not boredom. That's not her needing attention. That's her not wanting the thread to break. Because when people matter to us, silence feels heavier. And even if she's not ready to say it aloud, her reappearance is her way of keeping the door open. That door is her hope, and she's hoping you'll walk through it. When you're around other people, notice how she behaves. Does she look at you to share a laugh when something funny happens? Does she glance your way for validation, or to see your reaction first before reacting herself? That's emotional alignment. That's her tuning in to your frequency even in a crowded room. And if her gaze seeks yours when no one else is watching, that's more than attention. That's a connection wanting to be deepened. It's a signal not many men pick up, but it's one of the most telling. Sometimes she'll defend you in conversations, even lightly. Maybe someone jokes about something you said, and she softly pushes back. Maybe she supports your idea, or expands on it in a group discussion. That's not random. That's alliance. That's her saying, I'm with you. Even if the topic isn't personal. Because energy doesn't lie. And when someone backs you up, gently but firmly, they're revealing more than agreement. They're revealing alignment. You'll know she's inviting you in when she starts letting you see sides of her not everyone gets to see. Maybe she shows you her passions, her art, her playlists, her writing, her favorite walks. Maybe she lets you into her world, not to impress you, but to share something sacred. She wants to be known, but only by someone who won't misuse that knowing. And if she shares the things that make her soul feel alive, it's because she's already imagining you being part of that world. That's not casual. That's emotional intimacy in motion. And even in disagreement, if she stays, if she engages, if she tries to understand, that's a kind of investment too. It's easier to walk away. It's easier to shrug off a misunderstanding and say, forget it. But if she stays and talks through it, even awkwardly, that means she values the connection more than her pride. That willingness to remain in the room, to keep the conversation going, that's a powerful sign of someone who's not just passing time. She's placing importance on what you share. You may also see her soften in your presence. A woman can be strong, assertive, confident, and yet when she's with someone she's drawn to, there's often a quiet vulnerability that shows up, a slight gentleness in the tone, a pause in her sentences, a tenderness in her expression. She doesn't perform this softness. It simply arises when trust begins to build. And if you're the one who draws it out of her, that's a sign that something rare is happening, that she's allowing you into a space few people get to access. It might be subtle, but if she starts checking in about your well-being, asks if you got home safe, sends a good luck message before your meeting, or remembers your important dates, she's not just being kind, she's making herself part of your emotional team. That kind of consistency is not about flattery, it's about foundation. She's saying, I'm here, even when there's no spotlight. And if she keeps showing up in the small ways, chances are she's open to something much bigger, if you're willing to make that first move. She might even create small moments for you to step in. Maybe she says she feels like doing something but has no one to go with. Maybe she mentions a film she wants to see, a place she'd love to visit. She's not asking directly, but she's opening a door, and she's waiting to see if you'll walk through. She's building the bridge, brick by brick, but she's hoping you'll take the final step. Because as much as we talk about equality and confidence, So many women still feel safer when they know the man is willing to lead. Not with control, but with courage. And yes, all these signs require interpretation. They're not guarantees, but when they appear together, when the patterns repeat, when the energy feels reciprocal, when her presence becomes steady, not fleeting, then you don't need certainty. You just need attentiveness and a little boldness. Because the greatest mistake is not rejection. It's missed connection. It's two people dancing around possibility, both afraid to move, until one turns away thinking the moment never existed. But the moment did exist. It lived in the eye contact, the pause, the laughter that lasted longer than it should have. It lived in the text message sent at midnight, in the compliment that came out shy but landed deep. It lived in the way she stayed just a little longer, in the way her fingers brushed yours and didn't pull away. Those are the places where desire hides, not in declarations, but in gestures. And if you've seen those gestures, if you've felt that energy, if you've sensed that she's giving you the space, the warmth, the rhythm, then maybe she's not asking you directly, but maybe she's waiting, hoping, trusting that you'll recognize her quiet yes and have the courage to meet it with your own. Because sometimes the most powerful love stories don't begin with words. They begin with a glance, a pause, and one brave step forward.